Because each person is the result of all of the particular forces that lock them, though the same forces, the same set of beliefs may bind you, but in each person it's going to be a unique set of them. So there's no general solution. If there's no general solution, then there's no basic belief. That will save you.
Right.
See, in this game, in the realm of belief, this is really the realm of belief. Being trapped into this invariably must spring from particular beliefs imposed at a particular time under very strict and particular conditions. Therefore, there's never any general solution to the problem of one's fate. There isn't any general solution. One have to find the particular causes. Right? Therefore, you have to go into the particular, you have to see it most particularly, or you can't get on. Because that's what the imposition of belief is. A particular imposition of a particular set of beliefs under certain circumstances that are maintained over a length of time that control.
So that's your fate,
One's
your
fate.
personal
That's one's fate.
So you have to know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then providence, and then you employ your providence, or?
Well, see, remember, providence is a word that's difficult to use because we don't use it very often.
Yeah.
But what the word providence just means is that there is built into the universe, our universe, a basic goodness that allows this growth and transformation. And since it uses intellect and reason and understanding, since whatever is used, right, must necessarily have a less of a status than what's using it. So here, therefore, since it shows a goodness, what must be prior to a goodness is the good. And therefore, built into the nature of what is our reality is a goodness which uses the intellect, reason, and understanding. For those who want to take the challenge, that's providence. Prior to intellect, that's what the word means. Some goodness prior to intellect. What's providence? Some goodness prior to intellect that directs and uses intellect to bring about a goodness. Therefore, it presupposes there must be, in the nature of reality, the good. Yeah. Curious system, isn't it? Huh? Curious? Yeah. Yes.
You said that the good was built into the system. Who or how did it get built in?
Who or how did it get built in? Who or how did it get built in? You mean the goodness?
The good.
What?
The good.
How did it get built in? Can you equally use the word the one as well as the good?
Yes.
The answer to that, I presume, was a little bit of no. So, in this whole way of considering things, right? Remember all the terms we had here? All different ways of using the idea of one?
Yeah.
You would have a similar set over here for good. Wholesomeness, whole, perfecting, union, right? As you proceed with these set of terms about the good, you would find an overlapping of terms, and therefore you could then show how those overlapping terms can be interrelated, and that will be then a definition of why the one and the good are the same, or identical, which is what Proclus does in the 13th proposition. Now, let me see if I can deal with your question. Right? It is, see, to say how it is there means there must be something that puts it there that is responsible for its existence. And that would mean there is something prior to it that generates it to serve a function. If you hold to that notion, right, then would you then say whatever it is that put it there must have had in some sense an idea it was going to do something for something?
Yes.
Well, whatever is going to do something to bring about a good must itself be good, must it not?
Yes.
Why, good heavens, then we're still back with the question of, after all, what is the one in itself? Or after all, what is the good in itself? What is the nature of the good in itself? So it's by this reasoning that you come up with that this is the ultimate term from which all other terms are derived. Or to put it another way, see, remember the terms we had here when we were exploring the idea of the one. If each of these are different altered states of mind experiences, then as you proceed up through them, as it were, the others are not in conflict, but are subsumed within it, until you're getting more and more profound glimpses of what the one is in itself. Well, so in the end, all there is one. And since nothing else, you don't even use the word one. And that was probably a quick trip through the Parmenides. So let me ask you, what is it like going through this?
Mind-boggling?
Mind-boggling.
What's that? Mind-boggling? To boggle.
To boggle the mind. And here we are trying to unboggle the mind, and we're turning around and boggling up the mind. Well, this is a way of talking that's not very many people get involved in. It's an old way, it's an interesting way. I enjoy it.
Well, it's nice that it's got the two parts, both the purification and the perfection. Usually there's one or the other, not both.
Oh yeah, it has to be, you have to have both. See, then there has to be a vitalizing, because to do that, see, to the degree to which you get out of that, then more and more energy is available to you, naturally. And that vitalizing is a result of turning the mind around on itself. Right? So you have a perfecting, a purifying, right? You have a vitalizing, you have a turning the mind around upon itself. All of these are actions of something that's all going towards the good.
Does the creator need the created to exist?
It takes this argument. It's a curious argument. I can give it to you in this way. Take three things. Right? If a thing is not itself complete, right, but